Let's speak to Tony Smith. He's the former Director General of the UK Border Force. Hello to you. Thanks for joining us on Sky News this afternoon. Hearing there from Mark that a lot of the people that are in Calais don't actually want to come to the UK. Is that your perception?
Well, no, a lot of people are happy to stay in Europe. You know, we have a relatively low asylum intake in the UK compared with the rest of Europe, but the ones that are obviously gathered in and around Calais and other parts of the French coast do want to come here. So our challenge is really to make sure that we work with the French to ensure that, you know, the irregular migrants don't make it as far as the UK border. And of course, as this report shows, the threat's changed now, hasn't it, recently, where we're seeing different types of attempts of entry, not the same as when I was there, where it was really mainly about Calais. But now smaller boats trying to get in, smaller boats under attack, which is why there's been this call for, you know, a different type of response and more patrol vessels.
Okay, so I hear what you say about patrol vessels. I mean, we don't want the Royal Navy patrolling the Channel, do we? Is that overkill?
Well, in fact, what we need, Kay, is an integrated approach. There's about 16 different agencies actually involved in border security. It's not just about the border force. We don't have a border patrol in this country like they have in America, you know, an organisation that patrols the areas between the ports of entry. So the border force also manages the queues at Heathrow and Gatwick. It does customs controls at the ports of entry, freight checks, and this. And so, you know, you're constantly juggling and you do need a little help from your friends. But we do have the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency. We do have the Royal Navy. We have the National Crime Agency, the police. The trick really is to make sure that all of those agencies work together. And probably most importantly, they get the right intelligence. So if we do perceive that there is a threat from a certain, from a certain part of the Channel, that we are able to respond to that.
Where are we most vulnerable? Is it the Channel?
I still think we're most vulnerable in vehicles, in lorries, in people penetrating lorries or seeking to penetrate lorries, entering the UK, not just through Calais. That seems to be where, you know, when we do debrief illegal immigrants, when we catch them in the UK, of course, we ask them how they got through. We do some research into that. And the overwhelming evidence is that the vast majority are still getting through in the backs of vehicles. But, you know, there are increasingly desperate people who will resort to increasingly desperate measures, and we have seen recently, haven't we, some instances of people trying to get across in small vessels across the Channel, people being rescued, and some organised crime groups actually making it. So it is about being able to respond to the smugglers and, you know, to keep our defences up so that we can stay ahead of them.
Yeah, exactly. Anything that more money wouldn't solve?
As an operational leader, I would always be looking for more money. Of course, there are efficiencies we can make, Kay. I mean, we've now got a lot more automation. A lot of people can come through our borders using electronic gates and biometric passports and things like that. So you can see, you know, there are grounds where you may say the border force doesn't need additional manpower. But the main thing is that we do need to have a consolidated, coordinated and intelligence-led approach. And of course, we do need enough resources on the ground when we do see instances like this for us to be able to react. So, you know, I'm pleased to see that the government are putting some more money in to the capital budget to invest in things like more vessels. We'd like to see additional radar, surveillance systems and modern technology to support the officers in what is actually a pretty difficult task.
Okay, good to talk to you. Thank you very much. Thanks.